right, welcome back to Rise and Shine, Creating 2020 Vision, all about supporting you and feeling empowered in creating and seeing what the vision is that you would like to experience for the second half of 2020 and beyond, because you have that power. And so today I have another amazing guest with me. Welcome, Jennifer Urezzio.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here and to hear you and to be able to be heard. I was like, oh my God, I cannot hear her. And I was like, how do I let her know that I'm just answering stuff where she doesn't, I don't know what she's asking.
And like, that is such a deep statement right there, to be heard. So first off, I could hear you. So thank you for saying that, because I forgot I'd muted myself. And I feel like there's something there with that to be heard. So Jennifer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, it's a roller coaster ride on so many different levels. And if I didn't have my practice and my training, I'd be on my couch eating cheese at the moment. So good.
We love cheese and we love our tools.
We love cheese. And I'm going to create a tool while you do it and you eat cheese, because I think that would be cool.
Oh, that sounds really yummy. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about vision. So, really in general terms, what does having a vision mean? What does it look like? How does it help you? And then we're going to get specific and talk about, what is your vision for 2020? What is Jennifer's vision? And really apply some of those tools very simply today and, have fun with it. So real quickly, I want to share with you that Jennifer Urezzio is a master intuitive and the founder of Soul Language. And you can find out more about Jennifer by going to soullanguage.us/soul language. The link is down in the comments. I'm not going to read out the rest. So soullanguage.us, definitely check her out. And Jennifer, before we get further into today's conversation, will you just tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Well, what I do is I help put tangibility to soul in the soul of a business, and I help people with a very big vision create a legacy. That's a 100-year business, a 100-year movement. And in order to do that, you really need to be deeply connected to your soul and whatever you call your divinity, and really take action from there. So I help people really fine line that connection with themselves and with the divine, and put that into their vision and their business rather than heartache, pain, suffering, which most of us do unknowingly or without consciousness.
Okay, so something you just said I have to ask you about. You said 100-year vision. Will you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think most of us are, kind of geared to see, the next year or the next 4 months, right? And when you think about a 100-year mission or a 100-year movement or a legacy, you really realize that every action you take is not just about for today, it's for the longevity. And for those people that are creating those kind of big movements, you have to receive more than you give. And I'm a master of service, so I understand about giving, but there's a lot of cogs that have to fill a lot of wheels to create that huge vision. And so it takes a lot of receiving. And I think so often when people are looking about their vision, they want to see the tiny details. Yeah. And that's not what vision is about. It's about that big picture, that divine view, that ego view. And then asking yourself and your soul and your business soul, what do you get to be, do, and express today to bring that into the tangible? And that's a moment by moment thing.
I so love that, Jennifer. Each one of these vision conversations have been unique. I'm doing 10 each of vision, mindset, emotion, and action. We're right in the middle of our vision conversations. And Jennifer, so you've just added so much juiciness to this topic of vision. And I absolutely love that you just said you have to receive more than you give. Who's with this that can... Yeah, right? Exactly. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So how does that factor in? So many people who are in this space of wanting to give, to really act out their mission and their vision and serve a purpose, it's skewed towards giving. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's skewed towards giving, and it's skewed towards giving so I can get. Right? So you have to receive on so many different levels. You have to receive information from divinity. You have to receive information from yourself. And then you have to receive tangible stuff. And I think so often people of service are like, no, I don't need that. No, I don't want that. Oh, no, I don't need your insight or help or guidance. And they're always stiff arming the universe because they're stiff arming humans. The universe isn't going to bring you a tree to give you what you want. It's going to bring you another human, a resource.
Right.
And I think so often what creates this skew of giving and receiving circle is that we so often believe that this person in front of us is source, not a resource. And so we've got this secret agenda in our head, and we're kind of moving the giving and receiving. We're keeping tabs. So we're not fully giving and we're not fully receiving. And so you can start small. By notice how people are trying to give you stuff all day long, anything from a thank you to a compliment to, no, really, I want to help you. You know, so often I will ask, you know, someone, okay, so how can I support you? And they're like, well, I'm not looking for a coach right now. It's like, yeah, and it kind of pisses me off. I'm like, yeah, that's not what I asked. I asked, how can I support you? And they're like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, what do you need? What resource are you looking for? Where is there some feeling of lack or uncertainty? You know, what have you been secretly asking for within your vision that you're not willing to look at or receive? How can I support you? And it's so weird when you ask that question where people don't have an answer, or they have an answer that really doesn't work. Meaning, you know, how can I support you? Well, I need more clients. No, that's not what you need. That's an end result of all the stuff that you need prior to that and the internal expansion. So, you know, and I have to admit, when people go, how can I support you? I go, now I know, I tune in and I'm like, okay, so what I really need today are blah, blah, blah. So recently a client who I love and adore, my mom had a house fire. That's a long story.
Wow.
Long story, but she's like, is there anything I can do? And I went, yeah, there actually is. I was like, we had this huge vet problem, and I want to research how we can sue or how we can get that vet to stop practicing, because they're hurting people and animals. Ooh. And she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. And she did the research in like 4 hours. Right. And it was an interesting thing, because if I had to stop to do that, I wouldn't be able to do something within my vision. Right.
I love that. So I want to point out that, you know, it's that wall that's immediately up. And when we allow ourselves to say, oh, she didn't ask this other question that I answered to. She asked, what do I need? I can lower my defense. And when you give the answer to what you need, it's an opportunity for the other person to give. So you've given them that opportunity to give back to you.
Exactly. And my two favorite questions to ask are, what do you want and what do you need?
Okay, so go ahead.
Most people are like, well, aren't they this?
Oh, we lost Jennifer. I don't know where she went. Jennifer. So Jennifer, so this stuff happens sometimes. So Jennifer, I can't see you at all. As far as I can tell, you are not here anymore. Let me take a quick look and just see if somehow you're down. Nope. So I don't see Jennifer anymore. So this is where the show goes on. The show goes on. So I want to add on to what Jennifer was saying. And Jennifer, if you can still hear me, then simply just, you know, leave and come back. And looks like that'll be the little dance we do today. We had to do that before the show as well. So something else that was coming up for me. That was actually a question for Jennifer. So I will ask Jennifer that question when she comes back. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and share a quote here. And this is a quote from Bob Proctor. It's about vision, but it's really connecting those dots between our mindset and our vision. And again, is why we're going to be talking about all of these topics as we go throughout the second half of 2020. And before I share that quote, let me go ahead and pop up on the screen the question of the day. What is your vision for the second half of 2020? And so be thinking about that. If you haven't already come up with what your vision is, this is your moment. This is your moment to really tune in, like Jennifer was talking about, and say, what is my vision? What do I desire? Knowing that it's okay to release those walls and answer. And I believe we have Jennifer back with us. So let me go ahead and grab her really quick. Woo woo, Jennifer in the house.
You were totally there. I was seeing you and hearing you, and then there was nothing.
And then there was dark. And that's how, when you don't have a vision and you have those walls up, that's what it can feel like sometimes.
Exactly. Or you feel like somebody pulled the rug out from underneath you. And I think so often people are trying to focus on the vision in the details, and it's never about the details. It's about big picture, always.
Oh, okay. So real quick, what is your vision for 2020? If you will share with us down in the comments what your vision is for 2020, we would love to first off celebrate you and absolutely amplify energy towards your vision. And if you would like to be the recipient of today's virtual reality call with me, let me know down in the comments that you would like to be the recipient of that. And one lucky winner today will get to hop on that call with me. They're awesome. We really amplify the energy.
I freaking love that. Can I offer a 15-minute discovery session where one of your soul languages will be identified?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, so you just pick the winner and you send me over that winner's name.
So let us know down in the comments. Would you like to be the recipient of Jennifer's discovery call of today, today's virtual reality call winner with me? Let us know down in the comments and share your vision. Do not be shy. Let that light shine. And so, okay, Jennifer, coming back to our conversation on vision. Whew, there was so much juiciness there. You know what? Actually, I think you know what? Let me share a quote that I was about to share right before you came back. So this is a quote from Bob Proctor. It's actually a little longer, a little lengthy, but it's a good one. So thoughts are everywhere, and we pull thoughts into our mind, and we build pictures or images in our mind. What we want to understand is that's the non-physical side of ourselves that's doing that. If I can build an image of something in my mind, I'm quite capable of building a physical replica of it in my world. So if I build an image of me as a happy, relaxed person, I can live that. If I build an image of myself being prosperous, I can become prosperous. And that's Bob's quote. So Jennifer, do you have any thoughts on that quote?
Well, I think, one of the things that I love that I was told that everything for your vision has already been created by the time that you could even voice it. And
Yes.
Our job is to focus. I call that good noise pollution, by the way. Focus and bring that intangible into tangibility. That gave me a great sense of peace. My dog has now decided to play with her Chewy toy, by the way. So that has given me a great sense of peace, knowing that, okay, I just get to focus on that next internal action and external action. What I mean by that is people don't realize that there's an internal action that has to correspond with an external action. And sometimes it's just the chicken and the egg. So often we'll get an opportunity and we'll move into resistance, and we have to do an internal action, or we need an internal action for that opportunity to be brought to us. So that's what he's really talking about there. It's not just more than just words, right? That's our way of taking divine voice and putting it into reality. But when we really focus on the intangible, not as in how I can make this happen, but what's the next internal and external action, you kind of are working to bend the universal goo towards your will rather than fighting against it.
Can you give us an example of an internal action?
Yeah. So here's an example. Okay. So I had this interview today, right? Great opportunity. In order to show up, I had to do an internal action. So if you sent that thing, the interview, and I first saw it and I went, oh my God, I can't do that. I'm not perfect. What if I mess up? Those are internal actions. So I would ask myself, okay, what would I have to accept about myself in order to receive this opportunity and have no resistance around it, right?
Yes.
Or, one of the things people are like, how do you get so many interviews? And I was like, I set the intention. Now, I did more than set the intention. I wear my shirt that says, I'm freaking Jennifer Urezzio and I'm brilliant. Not from an ego standpoint, from a place of going, hey, I'm turning on my porch light. Are you
Yeah.
ready to play with me? And I know I do a good interview. Why do I know? I got the internal of connection. And I have years and years of being in marketing and PR and teaching people how to do good interviews. So I kind of know what makes a good interview. I know that if I had, and only my best friend will get this reference, but if I had hair that looked like a cockatoo, it's not going to be a good interview because you're going to be so focused on my hair that you're not going to be able to hear a thing I say, right? So these are all about internal and experience. So those are some internal actions for you.
I love it. So what's really coming through today's conversation is all about what walls might you need to release or let down to really open the space for you to connect with your own vision. And Jennifer, you are an excellent example of someone who's embracing who she is, what her gifts and strengths and talents are, not from an ego place, but from a connected place, so that you can be who you are and give and receive in the world, because that's required. Otherwise, if you don't connect to who you fully are, you can't actually give. You don't have anything to give. So go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just thinking as you were talking, like, if I wasn't connected, I would just be doing soul language as a soul practitioner, right? There wouldn't be, I think we're up to 35, 37 now, other soul language practitioners utilizing that paradigm within their own sacred work, right? I have to, on a continual basis, get out of my own way and not make it about me. Meaning, I get to really go, okay, I'm whole and complete. I'm not going to make this about my pain or my suffering or my patterns or my fear. And sometimes I'm really great at it. And sometimes I suck, and that's okay. And I think master healers and people who study, New Age and spirituality, they're so freaking hard on themselves.
Yeah.
They need to be perfect. And guess what? Creating this, receiving this big vision and bringing it into reality, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be a straight line. And, a challenge is just what's happening during that is you're inviting more goodness into your experience. And what the challenge is all about is, letting go of those things that are in the way, or that you're focusing on, where you could be utilizing that energy for.
Okay, awesome. So I want to share with everyone, Jennifer, do you remember when I asked you, what is your vision for 2020?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I asked Jennifer what her vision is, she said, my vision is to create connection for myself and others, which results in freedom. And of course, that speaks exactly to what we've been talking about. And so, Jennifer, I want to just ask you a couple of questions. We've already been talking about some of this, but your vision to create connection. What does connection, I talked a little bit already about it. We've kind of already gone there, but when you think about what your vision of creating connection for yourself and others looks like, what comes to mind for you?
Well, what that looks like is taking action and feeling whole and complete and taking action from there.
Okay.
What it also looks like are tools and practices where people feel disconnected, they feel not enough, they feel lack, that they know that that's a signal to go within.
And what is?
Go ahead.
And that freedom piece, what does freedom look like to you?
So first, it starts with a feeling. So freedom always feels like to me like driving down Santa Barbara to Santa Barbara in a what is that called?
A convertible?
That's it. A convertible. Sun in my hair, wind in my hair, totally free. Like the ultimate. And I think that really truly allows you to speak and receive the resources of the universe, right? When you're in that moment, you're aware of everything, and you're aware of none of the pain.
And go ahead.
Nope, you go ahead.
What does being in that convertible feel like to you? We're asking these questions to further build out the vision. I know Jennifer knows about this, but these are all questions you can ask for yourself as you reflect on what your vision is. So Jennifer, what does it feel like to be in that convertible? And
it feels like peace, happiness, timelessness. Time stops, but all time is happening all at once. It feels perfect.
oh,
Right? Yeah,
okay.
it feels, and honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, um, or truthfully, or awareness is rather the right word, it feels like every great moment that I've ever had. So as I'm talking about that, I'm remembering this sensation of smelling this bouquet of flowers when I was a kid prior to my dance recital. And feeling just this complete sense of well-being and happiness. And if I smell flowers, like that perfect combination, I still get that feeling, right? That's also, I think, the recital where I messed up and backed into the curtain, but that's typical Jen, and I love that, right? Like, I didn't always love that, but that's so typical Jen, right? So, it's that feeling of every happy moment you've ever had, and that feeling of just knowing that this is what it's like to be alive without any pain.
I love that. So I hear so much allowing on every level. And so the thing I want to point out here too is that like Jennifer's vision of what freedom feels like may have elements that can relate to your vision, whoever you watching us with us today, and yet it might be different, right? And so that's okay. It's what's true for you. I love, Jennifer, that you connected to a memory and something that feels so good and free and natural and authentic for you. I love that. And I want to just quickly acknowledge the image we have up on the screen here. I asked Jennifer, I said, what does your vision potentially look like? Do you want to share an image with me? And she shared this one. And do you want to say a couple words about this image?
Yeah, I mean, I love that image because that's just, being heard in so many different ways and acknowledged in so many different ways. And I think so often we're trying to be heard in unsustainable ways, meaning we're trying to be heard through that energy that will never hear us so we can feel whole and complete. And, here's
And
the,
it starts with us hearing ourselves first.
exactly. And here's a perfect example. So, um, I've been always told all my life that that I wasn't a good singer. And so I remember the moment after I took singing lessons that someone went, "Oh my God, your voice is so pretty." And I was like waiting for this huge, like, oh moment. And I didn't get it because I already healed that. So I was like, yeah, and I think so often we're looking outside of ourselves to have our voices heard. And when you really start to acknowledge that it is your right to have this divine voice and that you're safe, people will lean in and listen, and you will be heard in so many different ways. And that's very freeing.
Very freeing. That is so beautiful. And we have so much love for you in the comments. Kara's with us, and she is also saying, I love that vision.
Thank you.
And she said, love Jennifer Urezzio.
Thank you, Kara. Hi.
Awesome. So, Jennifer, we're going to do a couple things here. I'm going to pull a card from my self-love deck that just to enhance today's message. And while I'm doing that, first I would like to ask you, would you be open to doing a 68-second process for us? And
68, not 60, but 68.
so it's based off of the Abraham Hicks knowledge that it takes 17 seconds to enhance your momentum. And so when you multiply that by 4, you have 68 seconds. And so, taking time to speak on and feel into any vision at all for 68 seconds, you are quadrupling that momentum, that energy towards, connecting with that in the physical realm. So, and that's simply talking about it in the present moment and feeling into it. Would you be open to doing that with us?
Sure, if you're bringing it, we'll be the timekeeper.
I'll be the timekeeper, yes, and you can do it for your specific vision, or if there's another one you wanna do. So
I want to allow everyone to find out what they're part of the vision that is their greatest desire, meaning that knowingly or unknowingly they're trying to have this greatest desire kind of received. So let's put a little consciousness around it so you can receive it and stop trying to have that desire met in an unconscious way. So how does that sound?
That sounds amazing. Yes. So when you're ready, go ahead and begin, and I'll be pulling a card while you do that.
I am ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I want everyone to take a deep breath. And if there's words that I use that you don't understand, don't worry. Allow your body to do what it naturally wants to do. So I want you to ask Divine Intelligence, your body, to align body and soul. I want you to ask Divine Intelligence to align your Earth Star and your Heaven Star. And then I want you to tune into your heart. And for a second, I want you to allow your heart and your soul to share with you your greatest desire. And then I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to ask yourself, if your greatest desire was received, what feeling would that generate in your system? And then in a moment, I'm going to say a statement. And when I say the word blank, I want you to drop in that feeling word behind your greatest desire. So Divine Intelligence, fill me with the feeling and knowing and the vibration of blank. And feeling this greatest desire, I send out that vibration out to the universe. And it's returned to me tenfold. And then when you're ready, again, Divine Intelligence, fill me with the feeling vividly and clearly with the emotion of my greatest desire, which is blank. And then at any time when you're starting to do your visioning or you're doing actions that correspond with your visioning, you can tune back in to this greatest desire. And again, feel it, send it out into the universe, and watch it come back tenfold. So just take a deep breath and ask Divine Intelligence, your body, to integrate all that you remember today, easily and gracefully. So you don't have to worry about getting it right. Everything you've already want has already been created for you. All your job is to do is to focus and do the next divinely inspired action.
I love that, Jennifer.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to the beginning of that. That was the word that came up for me is peace. I love peace.
Beautiful. And you can tune in when you're doing your visioning and see where in your body you don't feel peace. And then go and get a chakra chart and see what corresponds with that place in your body. So for example, if you felt a lack of peace in your throat, that's of course using your divine voice. And then that that's where kind of the friction is. And you can do exercise around clearing and feeling safe utilizing your divine voice. And that will further out your vision and create more tangibility.
Excellent. Love it, love it, love it. Woo! Okay, so I pulled a couple of cards while Jennifer was doing that, and they popped out immediately. So the very first one is, I support myself in making the right choices for me. So very fitting with what Jennifer was just guiding us through. The back of it says, I am incredibly capable. Whenever I encounter a challenge in my life, I use the experience to learn and grow. And the second card we got is, I am grateful for all the wonderful things in my world. And the back says, I express gratitude to the universe often, knowing that my thoughts are heard and appreciated. So let us know in the comments if either of these cards resonated for you. And of course, definitely share what it was your word that came through as you went through that process with Jennifer. That was wonderful. Hello to Helene. And Helene is also saying hello to everyone else in the comments. So Helene, so wonderful to see you here with us. And Jennifer, so a couple things before we close out. We're already a couple minutes over, but will you just remind everyone where they can go to connect with you and your discovery session that you also shared earlier?
Yeah, so you can connect with me at soullanguage.us. During the discovery session, one of your soul languages will be identified. It's my gift for you. It's 15 minutes. Really, it lasts 30, so book 30 minutes. I answer my own emails. I pick up my own phone, so feel free to reach out if you have any questions. And if you want to have a community that focuses on your innovation, you can go to the Spiritual Renegade community on Facebook and play with us all there.
Awesome. And I do also want to just mention that Kara is also saying she's just so real. Yes, Jennifer is super real for sure. All right. Awesome. And remember, if you haven't already, let us know down in the comments. What is your vision for 2020? Let us know simply so we can amplify and support you in that. And secondly, if you would like to be today's winner of my virtual reality call, completely free, an amazing time where we can really raise your vibration and amplify your momentum and really seeing and feeling into your vision, then let me know down in the comments that you would like to be today's winner. And I look forward to connecting with you on that. And our last and final piece of today, Jennifer, the look on her face. You already talked about singing, so.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I can't think of a song with vision in it, actually.
You make up your own. You make up your own. So here's my question for Jennifer. Anyone watching for the first time, I would love to invite Jennifer to sing a made-up song with the word vision in it, or a poem, or she can do anything of her choice.
You know what's really funny? The only song that I can think of at the moment is the song I sing with the dog to get her to pee, which is not a good song. Has vision nowhere near it.
Okay.
But I really want you guys to understand that you are your vision. So, hey, let's do it this way. How about this? Okay, let's do sustainable sound with the word vision. And so you can bring it all the way in all your chakras. How does that sound?
Sure. Okay.
You ready? So you're just going to drop your jaw and you're just going to say vision. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Vision.
Vision.
Why did it go down?
It went down far, but I was struggled to stop smiling.
That's a good thing. But really, seriously, if you do sustainable sound, everyone, and it stops somewhere, that's where it's getting stuck.
Okay. Now I understand it. Okay, let's do this again.
Okay, you don't have to do the word vision now. Just drop it and do sustainable sound. Ready?
Okay.
You just go ah. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Ah.
I felt mine go all the way down. Go down to my root. Yeah.
Good. And check in on a regular basis, because depending on what's going on, that's a good indicator that what's happening within your system.
That was amazing. So for anybody, just to recap again, what you're doing there is was it sustainable sound? Is that what you called it?
Exactly.
Okay. So you drop your mouth and you say the sound out loud, and you're tuning into your body to know where is the sound dropping into. So that was awesome, Jennifer. I love that. That was excellent. See, I love it.
Yay!
Awesome. Okay, so we are closing out, but we have to go ahead and amplify. Go, Helene, and your vision for getting your book done. Yes, we see that for you. I see that for you. I'm excited. You got to keep us posted on that. And we have Kara saying, my vision, like Jennifer's, is connection. Okay. And same for you, Kara. So much connection. I'm going to pop this back up on the screen, this image. And you know what? I have another image here. I know we've actually gone over our time already.
We always do with me.
Okay, you're okay. Okay. So here's one other image. I love this image. I've shared it before. I got to show it again. That one.
Nice.
To me, that's exploding out, allowing connection in all forms, embracing who you are, and that total freedom. That's what I get from that. Do you get anything like that from there?
Oh, it's just, I could look at that all day and not be bored.
Yeah, same here. All right, that is today's show, everybody. I hope you have an amazing day. Continue to feel into your vision. See it, build it out. Ask yourself those other questions. Journal it out. Just continue to let it grow and take that inspired action as it comes. And we're going to be back again on Monday for another Rise and Shine Creating 2020 Vision with another awesome guest. Thank you again, Jennifer. It was awesome having you here today.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I'll see you again soon.